Well, good morning, or maybe it's good evening for you, wherever you might be in the world. I'm waking up here quite early morning in Paris, on my way back from India, and I was watching some powerful spiritual videos this morning from some amazing teachers, and I started to train my thoughts on forms of addiction that are not often discussed. And I thought about one addiction in particular, which is the addiction to the future, craving the future. I was working with a young man in recovery who had been on opiates for maybe 18 years, from age 20 all the way to 38. He had either been out using some opiate, heroin, something, or he had been trying to recover and he'd been put on methadone or Suboxone or another form of opiate to help him get off of opiates. So for 18 years, this young man, up until he was 38 years old, had an opiate in his body, which had been working on his brain. And as we worked together for those first, 12 months, the more and more sober he became, the more he was feeling a sense of dissatisfaction with life. And I explained to him that the brain is going to take a while to heal. It's going to take a while to come back. And he'd say, well, I've been sober almost a year, but I'm still feeling antsy, still feeling uncomfortable, still not feeling totally alive, almost like I'm missing my life. And he said something very, very interesting. He said, I feel like I've missed my life. I feel like I'm late to the game. I feel like the starting gun went off and I just didn't start. Like I'm behind the 8 ball in terms of time. And he said, and I also can't wait for the future to get here. And I stopped and I thought, and I have thought a lot about that since then. Someone who feels like they're behind, late to the game, like they've missed something, but at the same time, they can't wait for the future to get here. And I thought to myself, now that is addiction. I can't think of a better way to describe the experience that so many of us have felt over the years than that. We're concerned that the past wasn't what it meant, wasn't what it should have been. We didn't do what we should have been. We weren't being what we should have been. And now, waking up to that reality, now we can't wait for the future to get here quick enough, because the thing that we've never clued in on is the way to enter and to be with the present moment. Preoccupation with the past, addiction for the future to arrive. And the one thing that gets left out of that equation is the present moment, the only place we can actually live life and be free. So, what can we do? Well, the good news about that young man is that now he's many, many, many years sober. And he has developed a greater capacity through his 12-step work, also through meditation, also through exercise and some of the things that he does, to bring himself to a present moment. And he's been able to glimpse and have an experience of the joy and the feeling of life, actual life, where today he could say, yeah, my past was my past. What happened, happened. And what will happen, out of my control. But what's very much here and now is the here and the now. And it's joyful to be in that. So, through our work with recovery, and recovery work for me That doesn't necessarily mean the 12 steps, although it can. It doesn't necessarily mean anything except the movement towards being present and the movement towards being free and the movement towards a life beyond, of course, addiction of any kind, particularly this addiction of craving the future. So, may we process through and transcend and truly release our past. May we remain present enough not to be in anxiety and worry about our future. May we adopt the practices, the community, the teachers, and the teachings into our lives that require simple attention one day at a time, which can bring us into the present moment, which is this glorious, incredible place where we actually get to live our life, to heal, to share love and connection with each other, and to be free. Wish that for you here from this Paris hotel room on my way back to LA. Be home in about, somewhere 15, 16 hours. Be back in LA and looking forward to all the stuff this year coming up in our beloved Recovery 2.0 community, and especially the online stuff we're doing at r20.com, and especially the offline real-world stuff we're doing with our upcoming retreats this Independence Day and, of course, Costa Rica later in the year, and our first training ever, our first 200-hour teacher training, where we will be training people at a very, very high level to become yoga-based recovery coaches. Boom! Yeah! So big year, super exciting. And sending love to each of you. I see my pal JC is in the room. I just got to give a big shout out. What's up, JC? Comment tu vas? Tu vas bien? Je suis à Paris. Je vais passer quelques heures ici. Après ça, je prends l'avion, ça y est. Et je serai chez moi dans 15 heures. I love you guys so much. And hope this was helpful for you this morning. Sat Nam, and so much love.